want to say it's good to be here this evening. I hope that what I have to study or speak about this evening will help us in our daily walk. I know I'm like a lot of us that get up here. Most of the time when we give a lesson, we're talking to ourselves as well as we're talking to you, because we need it just as much as you do, because we thought of it first. So my lesson this evening, I titled it, Love Shows. You know, Christ puts a lot of stock in love. And he was asked a question one time by someone who was trying to trick him, but nonetheless he answered in this way. In Matthew, the 22nd chapter, starting in the 34th verse, it said, "But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment." But he didn't stop there. He said there's another commandment that's just as great, if not somewhat greater. You would wonder, the love for God is not the greatest? Yes, it is. But one thing is just as important, and he says here, the second is like unto it. When he says it's like unto it, it means it's a mirror image. When we were made in the image of God, we were made in the mirror image of God. You see? So it's just as important. He said, like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. See, love has a reoccurring theme all the way through the Scriptures. It never goes away with Christ. It's very important to him that love is a foundation that we live our lives on. Because God first loved us. We love God because he first loved us and gave his life for us. See? That's how much Christ puts stock in love. Not only for him, but for each other. There's another passage that we can look at in Matthew, the 25th chapter and the 34th verse, starting with the 34th verse. He says, Then the king shall say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungered, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. See, when we love each other, we love God. Because he says, if you have done it unto me, unto the least of these my brethren, you've done it unto me. See? So it's very, very important to him that we put our foundation of love beneath our feet and stand on that. Because without love, we have nothing. Just as we have, if we don't have faith, we have nothing. If we don't have obedience, we have nothing. See, it all works together. Faith, love, and obedience. We believe God, we love God, and we obey his commandments. See? That's the basis of our life right there. That's the foundation that we lean on, that we live on. That's the church. The church is built on love. Christ gave his life for the church because he loved the church. Upon faith, he built his church. See? But without love, faith doesn't do anything. We can believe everything that we want to, or anything we want to, but if we don't love what we believe, and if we don't obey what we believe, it does us no good. So that's the basis that he's telling us. We first have to love each other. Because if we don't love each other, and if we don't have a care for one another, we won't have a care for Christ. That's what he says. That's why it's so important. That's why it's like unto the first commandment. We have another reading or an account that Jesus puts a lot of stock in. In Luke, the 10th chapter, and the 30th through the 37th verse, we have this reading. Jesus answered and said, a certain man went down to from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him, and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion upon him, and went to him, and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was the neighbor that fell among the thieves? And he said, he that showed mercy on him. Then Jesus said unto him, go and do likewise. See how important that is to Christ? He used this story to build a foundation of love for someone in need. We see someone in need, what do? We walk by. I don't have time. I hope they get what they need, but, I just don't have time. This man took time. He didn't only take his time, he took what he had and used it for the betterment of someone else. not asking anything in return. In fact, he says, when I come back, if I owe more, I'll pay it. You see? That's compassion. That's love for one another. You know, it's helpful to that person. He said on the morrow, in the 35th verse here, he says, on the morrow when he departed, he took 2 pence. I don't know really how much that is, but to him it's probably a pretty good amount. And he says, here, take this, use it for him. And if I owe more, I'll come back by. When I come back by, I'll see if I owe more and I'll pay you. That's very helpful to that person. And he did it with humility. You know, in Philippians, the 2nd chapter and the 3rd verse, says this: let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem other better than themselves. What did he do? You know, that person probably had needs. He was going somewhere, going to do something. He had needs. But this other person had bigger needs, I guess you'd want to say, he thought. And he had compassion on him, and he helped him. And he was humble about it. He didn't make a big play about it or anything. He just said, here you go. And if you need anything else, I'm here to help you. Self-sacrifice. That's what it is, self-sacrifice. In Philippians, the 2nd chapter and the 4th verse, he says this: look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. You know, we have a busy life. We have busy things we're going to do. You know, we go here and there and whatever. We have a very busy schedule sometimes. But what if somebody needs something? If we know somebody is needing something, what do? Well, I just really don't have time. I'll try to do it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow never comes sometimes. We just need to say, there's a need, I'm going to go do it. See? Because I really do love the brotherhood. I do love these people, and I will take care of whatever I need to take care of, if I can possibly do it. Self-sacrifice. With sympathy. Because we know that we could be in the same shape that person is in. And probably have been. Because we all have death in the family. We all have people get sick in the family. We all have things happen to us. It happens to everyone. We're all going to die. We're not going to get out of here alive unless the Lord comes tomorrow or now. We're just not going to do it. So we take care of each other while we're here, knowing that we're all in the same boat. We're using the same paddles. We're going the same direction everybody else is. In Isaiah, the 58th verse and 58th chapter and the 7th verse, it says this: Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? And when thou seest the naked, that thou cover him? Is it not to do that? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? That's what he's saying. And in Acts, the 20th chapter, and the 35th verse, we have this reading. Acts 20 and 35, he says this, I have showed you all things, how that so laboring, ye ought to support the weak, and to remember the words of the Lord, how it is more blessed to give than to receive. Why is it more blessed to give than to receive? Because I'm going to tell you something. The more you give, the more you receive. Really. The more you do for people, the more blessing you're going to have. Really. Because you're going to put a star in your crown every time you do. It's just going to be better for you. It may take everything you have. It took the widow or the lady 2 mites. That's all she had. But she gave it. And where's her blessing? We're talking about it today. She's in the record book. She gave all. It's just like Abel. He speaks today. See? It's like Rahab the harlot. She speaks today because we still speak of them. Because of what they did. See? For others. Not for themselves, but for others. That's what it's all about. And this is a spirit we should possess. In 1 John, the 3rd chapter, in the 11th verse to the 24th verse, we have this reading. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another, not as Cain, who was of the wicked one, and slew his brother. For wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. See, we still speak of Abel today, don't we? Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hate you. We know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer, and ye know that no murderer shall hath eternal life abiding in him. Hereby we perceive that the love of God, hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us. And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. See, we need to give to our brethren. Take care of our brother. Love our brother. Love our neighbor. Take care of our neighbor. See? He says in the 17th verse, but whosoever hath this world's good, and seeth his brother hath need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him? See how important that is to God? My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. And hereby we know that we are of the truth, and shall assure our hearts before him. For if our heart condemn us, he is greater than our heart, and knoweth all things. Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then we have confidence towards God. And whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight. And this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and love one another as he gave us commandment. Now, how many times have we read that tonight? How important is it to him? And that he that keepeth his commandments dwelleth in him, and he in him. And hereby we know that he abideth in us by the Spirit which he hath given us. This is the Spirit that I have witnessed in you. It gives me joy and, I want to tell you, this is the Spirit that I see in you. Because you've shown your love to us by your prayers, by your phone calls, by the food, all of the things that you do for us. You know, it's been a pretty trying time for some of us. You know, I lost my mother. I lost a few friends along the way here. We lost a dear brother that meant a lot to me here recently. And we're going through a few trials. But we all go through the same trials. But what I've seen since then, throughout the brotherhood, I can't tell you how many calls I've had about my mother. They're innumerous. How many calls I've had about some of the friends that I've lost, you know, and it just things like that. I want to tell you, it means a lot to me, because it shows that the brotherhood is strong. It shows that it's faithful. It shows that it loves each other. And it shows the love of God. That's what it's all about. I want to commend this lesson to you and let you know that I do appreciate what you've done for me. And I know Susie appreciates it too. But you know, far and above that, what is important is obeying God. And he wants you to become a child of his and to become a member of this brotherhood that loves you and will take care of you and will help you in any way possible. So if you've heard the word and you've repented of your sins and you've confessed his name before men, you can be baptized. If you want to do that, you have that opportunity. If you walked away and you want to come back, or if you need the prayers of the church, we're here. We'll always be here for you. We're here for each other. That's a proven fact. And it is appreciated. Either case, we would bid you to come while we stand and sing the song of invitation.